Hello everyone. Today, there is a story for you. This story is about time. It is about pressure. And it is about learning to slow down when the whole world tells you to hurry. By the end of this story, you may see how patience can quietly reshape a life. In a busy city filled with screens, deadlines, and constant noise lived a man named Daniel. Daniel was 33 years old. He was dependable. He showed up every day, but inside, he felt like he was always behind. His mornings began with a sharp alarm and ended with him already feeling tired. He ate quickly. He walked quickly. Even when he sat still, his thoughts never stopped moving. His office was clean and modern, but the air felt tight. A clock hung on the wall, and its steady ticking followed him like a warning. Daniel watched people around him move forward. One coworker changed cars. Another announced an engagement. Someone else shared photos from a beach far away. Daniel congratulated them with a polite smile. Later, when the lights were off and the room was quiet, his chest felt heavy. Comparison slipped into his nights without asking permission. He compared progress. He compared age. He compared pace. One question returned again and again. Why am I not there yet? One evening, after another long day, Daniel stood at the bus stop and felt something inside him resist. When the bus arrived, he didn't step on. He turned and began to walk instead. At first, the city stayed close. Cars passed. Phones glowed. But little by little, the noise softened. At the edge of the neighborhood was an old public garden. Most people walked past it without noticing. The fence was worn. The sign was faded. Daniel pushed the gate open and stepped inside. The air smelled like earth and damp leaves. Trees stood tall and still. Somewhere, insects hummed quietly. Daniel slowed without thinking about it. Near a narrow path, he noticed a small snail moving across the stone. It carried its shell patiently, inch by inch. Daniel stopped. The snail did not look up. It did not rush. Nearby, a gray cat rested in the grass, eyes half closed, completely unbothered. Daniel sat on a bench. His breathing was quick, but the world around him wasn't. Inside his mind, the familiar noise returned. You're late. You should be faster. Others are already ahead. He watched the snail reach the edge of the path and disappear into the soil. Nothing dramatic happened. Still, something tightened in his chest. An elderly gardener passed by, carrying a small watering can. His movements were slow, but certain. He noticed Daniel watching the ground and spoke gently. Some things arrive only if you don't chase them. The gardener nodded toward the path. That snail has crossed this garden longer than either of us, he said. Still here, still moving. Daniel said nothing. The gardener continued on, watering the roots of a tree as if time had plenty of space. That night, Daniel lay awake staring at the ceiling. His phone stayed face down beside him. He thought about his rushing, his fear, his constant measuring. For the first time, a different thought appeared. What if my speed isn't the problem? The days that followed were ordinary. Pressure didn't disappear. Doubt still visited. But Daniel made one small change. He stopped checking everyone else's progress so often. He focused on finishing one thing before starting another. He began learning something new, slowly, without trying to master it overnight. Some days felt frustrating. Some days felt quiet. Some days he wanted to quit. But the image of the snail stayed with him. Moving slowly was still moving. Weeks passed. Then months. There was no sudden success, no loud moment. But Daniel noticed something else. His mind felt steadier. His work felt more thoughtful. One afternoon, His supervisor commented not on how fast he worked, but on how reliable he had become. Daniel was given a small, new responsibility. It wasn't a leap, just a step. But it felt right. That evening, Daniel walked home under a calm sky. He felt a gentle smile form, not from winning, but from trusting where he was. Early one morning, he returned to the garden. Sunlight rested softly on the leaves. The path was quiet. Near the same stone, another snail moved forward, unbothered by time. Daniel felt warmth spread through his chest. He understood then. Life was not asking him to race. Life was asking him to stay. Daniel did not become extraordinary overnight, but he became calm. He became present. He became steady. He learned this truth. Rushing exhausts the heart, but patience strengthens it. Like roots growing underground, progress often happens where no one is looking. So if you ever feel late, tired, or pressed by life, remember this story. Remember the quiet garden. Remember the slow traveler. Even gentle steps carry you forward. Let your life unfold at its own pace, one steady moment at a time.